I guess it is October the 18th, and like promised yesterday, I'm going to talk a little bit about the USO and the UNG, simply because these stocks are very important to look at from time to time. The USO is incredibly important right now because it's the only thing that's really holding the market up right now. We do know that energy is one of the biggest sectors in the S&P, and it feels like, for now, that the energy sector is the only thing that's holding the market up. We have a lot of financials just falling down. If you looked at FOS and FOS, both the triple shorts, triple long, the REFIN financial index, we see island gaps. That means that we see a shoot up, a gap up, and then a gap down 2 days later, and those look like potential reversal patterns. We can look at those in a second, but most importantly here is the USO, because that's the only reason why the S&P managed to make a high above 1,091.5 that day. It wasn't much higher, but it was slightly higher to close, and I do believe, like I said in my previous video, that if we get a small pullback, which we did early on in the day, that's going to provide us with a strong pullback in the S&P, and we got that. We got that 1 point something percent pullback. But guess what? As soon as the USO came back up to retest this red trend line right here, guess what? The S&P rallied as well. So we want the USO to fall a little bit for the S&P to start falling as well. And as long as the USO stays strong, the S&P might not be able to do that. That's why I tell people to go ahead and not only short ETFs, but go ahead and actually short individual stocks that you believe are overbought. And that's what I've been doing over the last, let's say, 3-4 months. And that's how you can make money, even though you are actually on the wrong side of the trade, as people call it. Let's look at this chart from here. You got the 23.6% retracement. What you also have is, let me get a 240 minute. What you also have here is you had that triangle that we were talking about. We broke to the downside, said go ahead and short it here, keep us trailing stop, and it bounced right here off the $65 level of oil, which I said if that breaks, it's over for oil. But it managed to break right. It managed to bounce right here. And ever since we sort of been trading right here in a small little range, and eventually broke out of this red trend line, meaning that this was a fake out and that this is the real breakout. I went ahead and said you could go ahead and buy it around here. It looks like it's overbought. It looks like it's headed higher, all the way up to 40.40 or 40.37 or 40.30. This sort of range right here, depending on how you draw your channel line. But now I'm assuming, it might not happen, but I'm assuming we're trending in an upward channel. That, with the hit of the 23.6% retracement, makes me a little bit cautious in the very, very, very short term. I think we've had a very nice rally here, and that a pullback to maybe even this blue line is very possible. That's a potential of maybe 8-7%. Or at least to 39 level. So you got at least 1 to 2% of a pullback here. It seems like it's reasonable, but hey, if we bust through this and then move higher, get out of this trade, right? I don't want to stay short the USO here because it looks very strong. This whole sort of move here is sort of creating a high base. On the longer term, we could move higher. So again, expect a potential pullback, maybe Monday, maybe Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, and then we could move a little higher from there. Now, UNG is one that everybody's been trying to call the bottom, and as of right now, it does look like it's bottomed. I just don't know if this is the right bottom you want to be seeing here. We have a nice bottom. What I wanted to see was that pullback and another shoot higher. Then again, this type of pullback or consolidation pattern is one that could result in another push higher. But a megaphone formation after a rally is not the thing you want to be seeing. So I'm very skeptical of UNG right now. I'd like to see it break this blue line and move higher, and then I'll consider buying it again. I still think longer term it's a great buy, but hey, countries like Israel have found natural gas, and Israel never has any energy. So if countries like Israel find natural gas, you know there's a lot of supply out there. So be careful about the UNG. Alright, have a good day. See you tomorrow.